haters.
Good. What's good, my brother?
Right here, chilling, man. What's going on, my brother?
Man. I can't complain. I cannot complain, and I'm not going to. What's
No,
happening?
sir. No, sir. No need. That don't fix nothing.
Hey, man, listen, it's good to see you. I'm glad you're in the house tonight. I wanted to welcome everybody back to another edition of course, Conversations with the Culture. Y'all know how we do it. We got a lot to talk about. I'm gonna try to do it in like a quick and a fast manner. And first of all, let me do a shout out to Lady Drina because she's working.
Oh yes,
Yeah, she working. So
exactly. She ain't going nowhere, y'all. She
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 ain't
just
going
working.
nowhere. She working, y'all. She working. She got to make that money.
Yes,
And so
sir.
we ain't mad about that. But we are definitely glad that we have an additional host who is with going to be staying with us as we move further in the culture. So y'all like and share this conversation tonight because y'all we got some things to talk about. And
Mhm.
it's stuff that we've been talking about, but we just want to elaborate because we still in a real ugly place. So,
Yeah, yeah.
how it is. We're in a not so good place. And
So, but
ladies
I
and gentlemen,
believe we're almost out. We're almost out, man. We're
I
almost out.
believe we close to the end too, and I really my prayer is that it's a favorable outcome for us,
Yes.
and I'm not talking about us as in, us alone, but the family,
Yeah.
because, for us, the family, meaning every member of New Life Church of Orlando. That's my prayer. Every
Mhm.
every member of New Life Church of Orlando. One of the most important things for me is simply the fact that, you know, um, family and friends are at odds right now.
Yes. Yes.
And we know families have squabbles, but this is and I'm not talking about the leadership, I'm talking about the membership, because the
Hmm.
members, you know the honest truth is that, members have sometimes seemingly longer lasting relationships you know than any other, but
Well,
we
there's a saying. I got this one from Dr. Jones years ago. He said, you know, pastor, from in the Baptist Reformation and several other
okay,
reformations. He said, pastors and leaders go, members stay.
but stay. That's
You
right,
know,
members stay.
and so that's
That's
why
right.
those relationships are essential.
They are essential, man. They are essential, and we love our family at New Life Church of Orlando. We love everybody. Now, ladies and gentlemen, y'all see us here, like, Carter, Minister Carter is at home. I'm at home. Y'all, we're gonna have a studio very soon. Things are
Oh
gonna be
yeah,
looking a lot different, a whole
yes,
lot
yes,
different than it
yes,
looks right now. So y'all just have to get ready for it because it's gonna be looking a whole lot different.
yes, sir, yes, sir. I'm
So,
anticipating.
man, me too. Listen, last Sunday, the Lord afforded me the opportunity to
Oh no,
minister the word.
let me go ahead and do it. Let me go ahead and do
You
it.
do it, boy. All right, bro. You go ahead.
Man, what a mighty word! What a mighty
Oh,
word! We know you can't praise yourself. We know you can't boost
thank
yourself, but I'm telling you, man, you did an awesome job. So many people was
you.
talking
Wow.
about it, and how
Wow.
it was just it was good. It was good, very good.
God. The miracle in the hard place, man.
Yes,
God's
sir.
miracles in hard places. And the message is so in tune with, God had been dealing with me about these hard places and the sacrifices and where we were and
Hmm.
putting us in difficult situations where it seems totally impossible for us to even be able to get out of it.
Yes,
But we are right where he wants us to be. We are
exactly.
at literally right where he wants us to be. So, man, I can't do anything but give him praise for that. You know what
Yes,
I'm
sir,
saying?
man. It was on
Just-
point, man. And I know we're gonna get into some of this
it
stuff
was, it
tonight.
was.
I know we're gonna get into some of this stuff tonight, but it just kind of show you, you know, even the type of leader that we have, who's not intimidated, who's not, you
At
know,
all.
envious or jealous. He's
That's
secure
right.
in himself as a leader to say, you know what, I'm gonna
Yes, he
be out.
is.
So I'm gonna be out. I don't
You
have to
need
necessarily call the outsider. We're gonna use the ministry right within our
at
ministry.
home,
So,
homegrown.
yep.
Yes, sir.
Hmm. So that was good.
Yes, sir. That's a shout out to my pastor, Pastor Derek
Yes,
W. Hutchins II. Shout out to him.
yes, sir.
Praying
Yes,
for him. You know, listen, ladies and gentlemen, you do want to be in the place on this coming Sunday. A extremely powerful man of God is going to be bringing the word, so you all cannot and do not want to miss it. It's Prophet Dwight Follins, and I'm telling you, he's gonna walk through Loader and he's going to bring an awesome word. So you don't want to miss it. If you want to tune in online, yes. But if you can make it into the place, come on into the place because
I
it's
don't know if a lot of people know that we actually have a YouTube that they can subscribe to while we're there.
yes,
You might. What is it? New Life Legacy
it is New Life Legacy Orlando. That's right. So if
Orlando.
you
New
go
Life
to
Legacy
YouTube,
Orlando.
yeah. As a matter of fact, let me just pull it up right now. I'm going to pull that up and post the link in there. I'll
Because
post
I
that
know in
link.
most cases we have to, when we want to see the service, we got to go to Facebook and go to Elder
Yes.
Marcus Scania's
Yeah.
page.
Well, here's the thing: we gotta build the subscribers so I can go live. So we can go live.
Exactly.
We can't go live from the page until we build up the subscribership. So you all
Exactly. Yeah.
go to our page. As a matter of fact, let me get that now because I want to make sure that everybody has this link. New Life. It's if you go to New Life Legacy of Orlando and you go to the page, I'm getting ready to put it in there so you all can actually have the link and go right to it. It's gonna be nice. It's nice. It's nice. Our channel. Our channel. Where are we? All right. Here we go. I'm gonna post it in the messaging.
Okay.
That
Yeah,
way
that way y'all
everybody.
can find us on social media, and I'm sure in the upcoming weeks or maybe months, perhaps, you'll be able to find us on all social media platforms.
All social media platforms, y'all.
Yes.
Everywhere you look, we're gonna be right there. Everywhere you look. Right. I just posted it in there, but I didn't see it. All right, there it is. There it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, the link is in there, and it's new. And as a matter of fact, it is New Life Legacy. The channel is New Life Legacy of Orlando. When you get to it, you'll see a familiar face. You'll see Pastor Derek W. Hutchins II. You'll see his face sitting there once you get to that link. But go to the link, like the link. Please follow that. Subscribe to the channel, the New Life Church of Orlando channel. Subscribe to that channel, ladies and gentlemen. I think I'm gonna start putting it in our chats when they send out messages and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So, brother, let's dive into this because I gotta go to the mall before the mall closes.
Oh,
And
Lord. Okay. Okay.
you ever been to our mall? I don't think you've been to the mall out here.
No, 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 no.
Okay. It is really nice. It's called the Walmart. It's located on
The Walmart thing. You crazy. Oh man, you starting already, man. What this gonna be an interesting show tonight.
the Walmart closes at 11 o'clock. So I want to make sure that I'm there
Okay.
before they close the doors tonight.
Let's see
But
if we can cut this down to an hour tonight. Let's see
we
if we
might
can.
be able to do that. I believe that we can. I believe that we have the time. But we got some conversations tonight. We're gonna dive deep into this, brother. like
Mhm.
seriously deep into this. Conversations with the Culture tonight. We're going deep into yet another sensitive topic. It's sensitive, but it's crucial. Again, we
Mhm.
want to talk about recognizing toxic church leadership,
Mm.
recognizing, understanding its impact, and see if we can find some solutions. This is a lot of stuff that we are going to talk about tonight. And I just want to say off the top, thank you all for joining us because this topic is close to our hearts. And we do believe that it's essential for church members to be aware of. If you are a
Mhm.
member of any
Mhm.
church, these are some of the things that you need to recognize. So let's start with the basics. Minister
Mhm.
Carter, one of the things that we know and we've seen, we're not. This is not just our opinion; these are firsthand accounts. So we're talking
Mhm.
about things that we've learned. Um, there are some things that people can recognize the signs of a toxic pastor or church leader. There are some responses. So, what are you what what are some of the signs that people should be looking for in toxic leadership in the church?
Mm. Well, we can always start with manipulation and control, or whatever,
Mm,
whatever way you want to put it. Control and manipulation. They use scriptures to manipulate members into doing what they
yes.
want. That's just some of the things.
Yeah.
Um, but I'll say control and manipulation is definitely one of those things, or one of those signs of
Mhm.
toxic leadership.
I agree with that, and I'm going to add also, along with that control and manipulation, and using the scripture, because I've had that happen before.
Hmm.
I've seen that a lot. I think a lot of people can recognize that because those are definitely things, and because we are so church and
Hmm.
so church derived, and we want to be right, but that we are forced into guilt by scripture, and it may not even apply. But you have to
Hmm.
understand when somebody is using the scripture to make you feel as if you've done something wrong or throw you into something. But another thing that I would like to add to that is accountability, like a lack
Oh,
of accountability.
yes.
If they don't like to be questioned,
Hmm.
they don't like to be challenged. You know,
Hmm.
you run into that, and people have to understand there is nothing wrong with asking questions. There is absolutely nothing wrong with challenging what you see is wrong. That's toxic if somebody gets mad because you ask them a question.
Hmm.
I've
One of those scriptures we know, uh, like I said, not taken away from the word of God, because that is our uh, standard. But
absolutely
they're, one of the ones that we've heard all our lives: obey them,
they
obey
use
them to
that.
have rule over you.
Got the people balled and chained over that right there, man. You got people in chains over that.
Hmm.
People
And
are
I mean, and that is deep. It's
it
so
is.
deep. It's so deep. I talked to several people from different reformations, different backgrounds, and I mean that's one of those big things. Uh, the lead. Matter of fact, I had a conversation recently. I wouldn't say who it was, but I had a conversation with someone recently, and they were just talking about how they just, because of leadership, like, and that control, so to speak, it held them back from you know accomplishing some great things in
Yeah,
regular
yeah,
in their regular lives.
yeah,
Because the leader said, oh, the leader said we can't wear this. Oh, the leader
yeah,
said I can't go there. The leader said
bro.
I should stay here and do this. The leader
Yeah,
said I shouldn't take this job. The leader said,
yeah, that's right. Bro, you hit something because I have dealt with that for about maybe 15, 20 years of my life.
mm-hmm,
Um, held myself back in a lot of things, education,
mm-hmm,
job, venturing out to do
mm-hmm,
greater things. I felt that I was maybe even 20 years. Like there is a guilt trip that is placed on you for
mm-hmm,
doing. People have to understand that God, He, our lives are in season and end times, seasons and end times. And we lean so heavily on, we have leaned so heavily on on a lot of leaders who really, their selfishness kept you where you were.
Mm-hmm. That's
The
true.
selfishness. And I let a lot of things go in my life because of that. So
Mm-hmm.
I can attest with whoever that was that you were speaking with.
Mm-hmm.
I've been down that same exact
Yeah,
road.
and most people, if you've been quote unquote a part of the sanctified church in particular,
Yes.
you know, they have a way of caging you in.
Oh my God.
But I used to laugh because Bishop used to tell the saints from time to time. He said, "Hey, you can do this, do that, do this. I ain't stopping you from doing this. This this is not. You are free to leave the compound."
Yeah. They said the compound. Oh my
And
God.
but that is funny, man, because like I said, it's a common thing in church. I'll say the sanctified church in particular,
Yes. In particular.
especially if you serve in a subordinate leadership role. That plays a big part
Yeah.
too.
A very
And
big
like I said,
part.
that's why I thank God for where we are as a ministry because, you know, even though we're in that transition stage, it's nothing for you to say, hey man, I have a speaking engagement next week,
Yep.
and that's not going to be, oh no, you're supposed to be on your post,
Yes.
you
Yes.
know. It don't work like that, and that's manipulation and control within itself.
It is. That's right. That's right.
Mhm.
Another thing, brother, is uh, somebody, and I'm going to use this terms, I'm going to call it spiritual elitism. What that means is that someone who believes that they are closer to God than everybody else. Like
Oh wow. Oh
they are
wow.
the ones who have a special connection with God, and nobody in the church has this special connection with God. You are the only one. And we've experienced that firsthand.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
nobody loves God more than me.
Oh yeah,
You
we
won't
heard that.
find the person that
That's
loves
crazy. I don't know nobody who loves God more than me. Now
God.
that's crazy.
How many people look? How many people in the world? Like you go over 1 billion people worldwide, and you are the only one.
You're the
You
only
you
one.
you put your you sound like you worse than Elijah when he told, "I'm the only one out of all of God's prophets. I'm the only
Yeah,
one."
I'm the only one. Yeah.
You living in a bubble. You
Yeah.
live in a bubble, and it's your own bubble. Like
Yep. Exactly.
looking at you, you live in a bubble. We can see all your flaws, all your character flaws,
Hmm.
all your errors. You can't see anything, or you turn up. You know it's there, but you refuse to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
That's spiritual elitism. Like
And
none of
and to add on to that, I think a lot of that, me and DJ, we had this conversation recently of how is that's definitely one of those signs of a toxic leader. And we was
mm,
just kind of talking about where a lot of that stuff originated from.
yes,
If you think back, um, we're not knocking our foundation, and
not at all.
we're not knocking where we came from in our history, but a lot of that came out of uh, the leaders and the way a lot of these organizations were even founded. It started from a slave mentality,
True, true, true,
you
true,
know,
true.
and it's a proven fact that even especially in our race of people, um, the only places they had leadership roles,
Is
so
in
to
the church.
speak, was in the church,
Yeah.
not in the communities,
Nope.
not in the government, not at work. So now they get to church and they say, okay, I'm the only one. And you know what I'm saying? Because the setup of our churches in so many ways at that time, God was using those leaders in a special way.
Of
And
course,
you know what I'm saying?
of course. It was a different dispensation.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Totally different dispensation of time. And God was
Yeah.
using those leaders in such a way to where, it almost put fear upon the people. I bet not say nothing. I
Did.
bet not.
It
Oh,
did.
no, he is the only one. He is the God
Yeah.
uses him. He's the prophet. He's
On
the
to man.
house. He's the
Yep.
mouthpiece. You know. And
That
so
mouthpiece led a whole lot of people to an island called Guyana.
exactly, exactly, exactly.
That was
So
crazy.
that's
And
definitely a toxic trait. You're not the
that's
no
a
leader is
toxic
the
trait.
only one.
Another toxic trait that we saw and we want to point out is fear and intimidation tactics. Like members are afraid to speak up and speak out when they see something wrong. We're quick, well, I better not say anything. I
Hmm.
want to make, but that has killed so many people, like
Hmm.
by being silent. And when I say killed, I'm not talking about a physical death, but I'm speaking of a spiritual death.
Hmm.
And in some cases, it has led to physical deaths
Hmm.
because fear and intimidation tactics, like even within what we have seen going on in our church, we know personally of people who have been contacted and fear and intimidation tactics have been used on those people. We know
Hmm.
that person.
Yep.
So that's toxic. I mean, you calling me on my phone or you having other people to call me, that's toxicity right there, bro.
Hmm. And we can name some names, and you know, even certain things that we've heard recently where people had certain information on some things, and they're like, okay, but I'm not gonna say
Yes.
nothing. I'm not gonna say. We know the truth in that situation, but we're not gonna say nothing. In its own type of way, that's a fear, and you know what I'm making
Yeah, it
reference
is.
to. You
Yeah,
know,
absolutely.
man,
Absolutely. I
I'm not gonna say
I hate
nothing though.
yeah, I hate
That's
that.
fear.
Do you know that kind of stuff is still it lines the Bible says that my people perish because of lack of knowledge. Some
Mm-hmm.
things have to be brought forward, especially when it comes to the life of the this ministry is at stake, the
Yep.
whole heart and soul of this
Mm-hmm.
ministry. The thing about it is we currently are not the only ones that are experiencing this very same thing.
You're absolutely right.
For people before, and we've been here before.
Mm-hmm. You know,
We've been before.
and it was crazy. One of the sisters even shared a video in our group, and it's the same type of thing where, and this is another one of those videos that kind of went viral recently, where the membership wasn't satisfied with
No, they
obviously a
won't.
toxic leader,
Yep.
and
Hmm.
it was another, basically a church brawl, so to speak.
Yeah, yeah. It ended up being a church brawl, and they spoke out. Some of the things that they spoke out against were how the mothers were treated, long-standing members.
Mm-hmm.
Who has the balls, you know, to speak out against wrong and not be afraid or intimidated when someone pushes back on you for being truthful and for being honest. And
Mm-hmm.
so that brings me to another thing. Let me clear something up because I found out some additional information and I just want to clear this particular portion up because I want everybody to know. And the reason that I'm doing that is because one of the other um, things that people need to notice or to take a look at is lack of transparency. That's lack of transparency in finances,
Mm-hmm.
decision making processes are hidden, or they're bad decisions that are made. Those things are terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing that I have to bring out is this. It was we were saying, Drina and I and a lot of other people, we were saying that um, Dennis Hutchins was going to buy a Bentley, and he was put the money down to buy a Bentley. All
Mm-hmm.
right, let me clear that up. The reason that the Bentley was not purchased because not saying that he didn't go down there because he did, but he didn't have enough money.
Mm-hmm.
The process was he was going to wait until the insurance came in. So
Mm.
now even all of those payments are being held up because he does not want Lady Bernice to get anything. So between the money that's coming in for the rental spaces, and we're going to talk about that too, because those rental spaces are important. The tenants and the lease agreements are important because that's a little bit over $30,000 a month that is coming
Mm.
into the church, and the bills are always behind. That's so ridiculous. The bills are always behind. Things are always threatened with getting shut off. There are code violations that have been cited all over the building, and I believe that someone is still living upstairs. It just it, things just look really
That,
strange.
that's how it appears.
That's how it appears. It appears that people are living upstairs in that church, in one of those rooms up there.
Rooms
Somebody
upstairs.
is.
Yeah.
Yep. Our church is so what happened, they didn't, because he was waiting, he didn't have enough money. Apparently, he must have gotten the money back, and it did not go back to the church.
Oh wow. Wow.
Also, also, they did say that the air conditioning units came come to find out that the and this information allegedly, but it did come from a very, very good source. So everything that I'm saying is alleged. However, it comes from an extremely reliable source. I believe this person. I believe every word this person says.
Mm.
The money, he didn't have enough money, and that was going to Diamond Auto Sales, right there where Bishop get all his cars from, where Bishop used to get his cars from. He didn't have enough money, but he was waiting on the insurance policy to come in. The insurance policy payout is being held up because he doesn't want Lady Bernice to get a dime. So that should have been done, but
Oh
that
wow.
still is being held up even after the decisions were made. He's fighting that too. Now, how is he paying the attorneys? We can only assume that Odessa Joyner and Herb McMillan are getting paid out of the tenant money. Now, I can't drive this home hard enough. You don't have any money in your pocket. The 200 plus $1,000 that was in the bank when Bishop died was a surplus fund that was used that was supposed to be used for maintenance and upkeep of the church. That is all gone. That money is gone. I think there's probably about $3,000 of that left right now in under a year, in under a year, but nothing has been done. Then
Wow.
it was it was alleged, this is what I was told, that a fake that did reach out about the air conditioning to a person who wrote fake receipts. Nothing was ever purchased.
Wow.
Listen, and what burns my skin so much are the people who are still standing with him, and that makes me feel any normal, rational person that will find out this information, that will see this and will not check it, but oh, that ain't true. They lying on me. They lying on me. No, I'm gonna fact check you. I'm gonna
Right.
find out who's lying. Why will all these people be coming? These people who I know before I got mad at you, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking about the people that are angry with me.
Mm-hmm.
Before I got mad at you, you knew me to be cool. You knew me to be honest. You knew me to be safe. You knew
Mm-hmm.
me to be right.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I just be lying on this man like that?
No, man, it's too many infallible truths that
Too
we've discovered.
many, too
You know.
many, too many. So one thing with these tenants is they are totally trashing the building.
Oh man.
They are totally trashing the property. The property is a mess. Can we take a break? We're gonna come right back, ladies and gentlemen. And when we come back, we want to show you all something. Um, we got a couple of videos that we want you all to see. We'll be right back. Y'all stay tuned.
Hey there.
So we are back, ladies and gentlemen. These next couple of videos that we are about to show you, I'm gonna kind of narrate a little bit with these videos because I want the people to understand every Tuesday when we are in the fellowship hall for Impact Word Study, we get there early enough to try to clean up because the school uses the property, the tenants use the property. I don't want to put the blame on anyone other than where the blame lies because the maintenance and upkeep of that property should be on the church.
Mm-hmm.
However, there should also, with the amount of money that is coming in, there should be a cleaning crew to clean up every single day. If over $30,000 is coming in a month, why do we have to come to church and look at the mess and the wear and the tear? That church was built in three phases. You have the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s. And all those years that church has stood, now we get to a point where stuff is being torn up and it's a mess. So this might be a little bit disturbing to some people, but we want you to be able to see this. So pay attention.
I'm sorry. This is outrageous. Whoever's using the church, look at this. Use the church. They don't need to.
And this collapsed today during
collapse? This?
during the funeral, but it was already breaking. So
Oh,
this
yeah.
was the funeral today, and this pew is already
And we got one over here too.
yeah.
Yeah, this one.
This one was
Yeah,
already
we had to rope this one off. Oh, it's become
See
worse. It's become worse because they are steady sitting on it. And we roped it off during the leadership conference, but that's not the only one. That's not the only one. All right, so tonight, walking into the bathroom and just got here. We got to clean this all.
This is Tuesday night Bible
church
study.
starts.
Last night.
But this is
It's a mess.
the
Wow.
and then it was
Wow.
$30,000 for money you gave us.
It takes to get this fixed.
Wow.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, what you are seeing now is Bishop's office. And Tangela said that this office would never be used. This office has been turned into some type of classroom or something. This is Bishop's office.
Wow.
Look at Bishop office.
It's a mess, man.
I understand.
It's a mess.
You know, things are how they are.
Don't look like they're missing the bathroom, but they are definitely
You don't have to
having
pay
class inside.
at all.
There's something that's going on. And Tangela said that they would never use this room. That room would be Bishop's office would not be touched. And at least for a year, that office should have remained intact for at least a year, just out of the simple respect. Just out
Wow.
of simple respect. Opinion. But we're dealing with breaking equipment. I mean, and those are just small things. Like the fact that people were sitting on a bench on a pew during the funeral and the pew collapsed. That could have been a
Yeah.
lawsuit.
Yeah.
Not to mention lawsuits based on not the lawsuits, but the possible fines because of all the
Mhm.
different code violations that are going on right now. Under Bishop's leadership, That stuff he was on top of that stuff.
Wow.
On top of it. On top of it. You would not see anything like that.
Never.
The
No, sir.
wear and tear, the wear and tear that is going on in their church after Bishop has died. It has just, when Bishop was there, he kept those people in check and in line.
Mm-hmm.
Kept them in check and in line. Now it's like a zoo, a for real zoo up in there. And people don't understand. Every Tuesday we are cleaning what you saw with the bathrooms and the sink. I'm gonna play that again because I don't think that a lot of people were able to see some of that. But let's just go back and take a look at this so we can talk about what we're looking at.
I'm sorry. This is outrageous. Whoever's using the church.
Look at this. Here.
They don't need to.
And this collapsed today during
This.
during the funeral. But it was already breaking. So this was the funeral today. And this pew is already.
And we got one over here too.
Yeah.
And Randolph, no one hardly ever
Yeah, we had to rope this one off.
No,
It's
exactly.
become worse.
Exactly.
It's become worse because they are steady sitting on it. And we roped it off during the leadership conference, but that's not the only one. That's not the only one. All right, so tonight, walking into the bathroom, and this back here, we got to clean this.
Come on, man.
In the fellowship.
This is,
Yeah.
That's the one that's used for school,
This is
correct?
All it's leaking.
and then it's one.
Yeah. Yep. This is every Tuesday we go there with
And the Sundays that we're in there as well.
Let's keep it plus. Sundays too, we have to go in there and clean up. It's ridiculous. The smell is horrible. But like,
It takes to get this
and
fixed.
the next video that you all are about to see is, I wanted to show you a before picture, but this is the current state of the office of the bishop at this point.
That would have never been in
They
there.
have classes. Never. The sanctity of that is
Wow. It's making me sick to my stomach to just look at it, Marcus.
I know it. That's how terrible it is, and the lies that continue to come. And this is why when I said lie, I meant exactly what I said. When I called Tangela a liar, I meant that, because you do not tell the truth. You don't, and that's just the bottom line. You lied, and you lied to me. You lied on the stand in court, and then you lie in other places. And when I told her she was a liar, you would have thought somebody shot her in her stomach the way she acted. She just fell out like,
Mm.
it was crazy. But here's the thing: you said that office would not be used, and it just so happened. This was Sunday. It just so happened that I was able to walk through because I had to get something out of Pastor Derek's, or I had to put some things in Pastor Derek's office because, of course, I was bringing the word, and the
Mhm.
door, which is normally closed and locked, was wide open. Like, let me take a look because I have not been inside the office
Since
in a long time. It's
Mhm.
been months. Now, when I got there, the last time that I went there, when Evangelist Richardson and First Lady Richardson were here, when they preached, I mistakenly, while Tangela was supposed to be teaching Sunday school in the conference room,
Mhm.
right? I went to the wrong door. I thought that Mother Ruthie Warren had given me the key to Bishop's office.
Mm.
So I was trying to open the door, and they were all upset. You ain't even supposed to be here. You ain't supposed to be here. Y'all ain't supposed to be here when we're on the property. That's not true. We
No, that's
can
not
be.
true.
It's not true at all. and they made a big stink. She jumped up, run out the office, but they didn't want me to go. If I would have had the key then to go into that office and would have seen what was in there after she had already told all those lies, it was just not meant for me to go in there on that day.
Man,
It just was.
just to see it in the condition that it's in right now, Marcus. If you can remember when Bishop was still here with us, there was only 3 chairs.
Yeah.
And he had a little couch.
Yep. And
like
a
a little
coffee
sofa, little comfort. They're right there. But other than that, it was so well kept. It was only those 2 chairs that would sit right in front of the desk. That's the chairs that you would sit in if you was talking to you. And the chair that he was sitting behind the desk, and that little gray little
Yes.
sofa piece.
Yep.
Why is it set up like that?
And behind it is a big television. See what's up there. Was there a television screen in there at the time when Bishop was there? I don't believe there was.
I don't remember it being one then, but it may have. It may have. I just can't remember.
Recall. I can't recall. I can't recall
because anytime we needed to watch something, maybe it was there, but I know it wasn't for whatever purposes those chairs are set up like that.
Yeah, it's a classroom. It is actually set up like a classroom, and the video is actually cutting off portions of it, but the way the format of it is actually cutting off portions. But the wall, it's set up like a classroom. They actually do teaching in there, and for what reason is because he's renting out every single space that he absolutely can rent out. So this is why I know there has to be more than $30,000 a month coming in on income. Still, the bills are behind.
Wow.
Still. So that means that you are not handling the finances right, and you don't know how to budget. You don't know how to finance. Y'all just spending the money willy-nilly, however you want to do it. They're talking about we keep immaculate records. Well, for months they've been asked to be seen and still have not seen anything. I remember when they said it, the only reason that they even started talking about the fact that they were going to put out a report is because we got on Conversations with the Culture and blasted them about lying about where the money was going and how it was being spent and all of that. We blasted, and they said, no, we got a financial account. They said all of these things, and come to find out that we were not telling a lie, and that over $700,000 has been misappropriated in under a year.
Wow.
If it hasn't been misappropriated, where is it? I'm going to put it out there like that. If it has not been misappropriated, where is it?
Wow.
Where is it? $700,000. What if they disturb the Kojic temple where Bishop Mason lies? Bro, Pastor Rose, if that would have happened, this is how it would have been a war cry all across the country had they done something that much. You know what, Sister Sherry, I really honestly believe that that's how they live at home. Because if you take care of the church like the way the church looks, I can only imagine what your living spaces look like. That fellowship hall is so filthy, and I just cannot understand. I know you don't want to see it, but we do have people that are coming in that have not had a
play it again. Play it again.
Because people need to see what we are dealing with. It's not just mouth. We're not just talking.
I'm sorry. This is outrageous. Whoever's using the church is not using the church. They don't need to.
And this collapsed today during the funeral. But it was already breaking. So this was the funeral today. And this pew is all ready.
And we got one over here too.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one. This one was already
we had to rope this one off. Oh, it's become worse. It's become worse. because they are steady sitting on it. And we roped it off
Trina and I
during
have
the
wrote that on. It
leadership
was just a
conference,
little
but
bit.
that's not the only one. That's not the only one.
Y'all don't even see the
All
other
right,
ones
so
on the other
tonight,
side of the
walking
church.
into the bathroom, and
This is from last night.
this guy here, we gotta clean all this up before church
What is
starts.
that?
But this has not been cleaned, and then leave it well. Not been cleaned, and what is that?
That's Providence School, whatever they do, they are just really tearing. That man does not care about anything but money. That's coming. That school needs to go.
It
It
takes
needs
to
to
get this
go.
fixed.
Here's Bishop talking. He's Bishop. He's associate. Hasn't even been passed away. Hasn't even rested a year. Here we are with this. Not even a year, the man gone.
Look at Bishop Office. I mean, I understand, things are how they are. I get it. But it don't have to be like this at all.
Doesn't have to be like that at all, bro. At all. And people,
That's
this
frustrating.
is toxic. It's toxic leadership. It's desecration. You're absolutely right, Pastor Rose. It's desecration. Our hearts are sad because of this. This is what leader, if you love your brother so much, and number one, that's a lie. Number two, you become super cool friends, and I wouldn't even say become, because if you ask me, you know, from 2014 to 2022, Earl Carter, Pastor Earl Carter, evangelist, prophet, whatever you want to call himself, bishop, ran Bishop Derek W. Hutchins through the mud for 8 years. 8 years. And now that's your ace boom coon. And allegedly, he's coming to help him pastor the church. Allegedly. That's what's out there in these Kojic streets. That's the word that's out there in these Kojic streets. But now that's y'all piled up like this. He comes to every single court case.
Mm-hmm.
Every single court case. And you can go back online and see the videos where he running Bishop through the mud, talking about Pastor Derek, talking about Lady Bernice Rivers, talking about Dr. K. But that's your best friend? Is so it's suspect on all levels.
Yeah, a lot of levels.
Suspect. So that's what happens. Is another thing with this toxicity, bro, is that the people that line themselves up with that type of leadership, they start adopting that same type of manipulative or controlling behavior in their own right, and sometimes in their own relationships. That's the
Well,
toxicity.
we know what the scripture says. It doesn't necessarily have to just deal with the spiritual matters either. But the
No,
scripture talks about how can two walk together except they agree.
they got to agree.
You see what I'm saying? That don't just have to do with no. Well, let's use the colloquial expression: birds of a feather flock together.
Together. That's right.
You know,
Association brings about assimilation. That's
so
right.
that's just one of those things. But go ahead and elaborate on that point.
I believe that with that comes also like okay, so say for instance, even though we are not a part of that faction, I'm gonna call it that faction. We're not a part of that faction, right? What this is doing, this toxicity is still spilling over. because the people have to deal with the emotional side of what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
It is seriously affecting all of us because of what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we're being people are alienated.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's a lot of distrust and mistrust that was bred under him. That
Mm-hmm.
distrust and mistrust was bred under him. Now I believe that some parts of it was there too,
Mm-hmm.
because there's a lot of competitiveness where it doesn't have to be. I'm not competing with anybody. I know my strengths.
Mm-hmm.
I know my weaknesses. I know my strengths. I know my limits. I know how to push myself beyond my limits. I'm dealing with the gift and the level of the gift that God gave me. I don't have time to be in competition with anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to um I'm not trying to develop any trust issues. I'm actually trying to lead myself away from that. You know, if I can't trust a person, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not even, I'm not, I know how to deal with you if I can't trust you, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to sit under you if I can't trust you.
Right.
Definitely not doing that. So that's something that we definitely have to we have to be aware of. That's mimicking that toxic behavior, experiencing these emotional and spiritual strains. That's kind of stuff leads to conflict at home.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Leads to
mean,
it does. It really does. It leads to conflict in the home. It leads to, because you don't know how you really don't realize how much of the stress you are under, how much of that spiritualness affects your natural
oh
relationship
yes. Oh yes. I
until
mean,
you
most people who we talk to that's a part of the ministry, um, of course, we're being revived and renewed every time we gather in this faction. But I guess it's just the whole strain behind this
it's
whole fight, and it takes a toll, especially it's not just those in leadership, but definitely. I know we talk amongst each other from time to time, the Marcus, me,
yeah,
and yourself, and several other subordinate leaders, and it's just the day to day. It's just a strain. It's a additional stress added to your own personal life
it is.
because of you know how in tune and our roles in the ministry. So I mean, and it does trickle over into your personal life and into your
It
homes and
does.
into your
It
families.
does.
And I was just having that discussion just earlier today, man. It's an effect. It's a real effect.
It is an effect, and that's what I want people to get from this. Get from this experience, learn from this, and be better about how you even deal with the level of toxic leadership in your own church. If you recognize it and you are in a position to be able to do something about it, I beg you to do something
Do
about it.
something.
Do something like we did. Stand up and fight for what is right, ladies and gentlemen,
Hmm.
men and women of God. There is nothing, as a matter of fact, it's all right to stand up for righteousness. It's
That's right.
all right. And I
That's
ain't saying
right.
all right as in ALRIGHT. I'm talking about ALL,
It's
one word,
all right.
right. It's all right.
Yeah.
It's all right. So we're gonna walk out of here. We're gonna leave here, but we got some questions that we want to leave with y'all.
Mm.
I'm gonna ask you if you are in a church, all right, do you feel spiritually uplifted or do you feel drained after church services?
Hold on. Disclaimer.
Explain.
Just in case somebody gonna want to go out there and say, oh, the culture conversation with the culture is they coming against churches. They trying to tear people churches up. So disclaimer.
Not at all. These are rhetorical questions.
Hmm.
These are rhetorical questions. Are members encouraged to ask questions and express doubts? That's another question.
Hmm.
Is there a clear and transparent financial structure in place?
Hmm.
Do you feel manipulated or coerced in any way? Are there any signs of favoritism or elitism? How does the church handle criticism or dissent? By that I mean, when people leave, how does the church leadership handle that?
Mm-hmm.
I tell you how Bishop Hutchins used to handle it. There's the door.
That's what he said. This you may leave the
Stopping you.
compound.
You may leave. No one is mad at you for leaving.
Mm-hmm.
No one.
And the
Are
thing
there
about it is, he would actually say, just leave right. Just leave right.
just leave?
Rather that
That's
be you're going to start a ministry. He said, hey, just leave right. He said, we'll come sponsor your first service. Anybody that's been a part of New Life for some period of time, they'll tell you that's what he would say. If you want to leave,
that's exactly
just leave right, because you never know how you got to come back.
That's right. That's absolutely correct. It's absolutely correct.
Mm-hmm.
How does the church no, let me say, are there any boundaries between the leaders and the congregation? Are there any boundaries? If there are no boundaries, you got to think about that. Are there any boundaries? Do you feel free to make personal decisions without church interference? Do you? Is there a culture of fear and intimidation?
You should have
Are
added
members?
manipulation.
Yeah, let's
Manipulation of
add
that one more time.
manipulation to that. Yeah, yeah. Let me say it again then. Is there a culture of fear, intimidation, and manipulation?
Mm-hmm.
Is that there? Are church members encouraged to isolate themselves from people who don't go to the church anymore, or people who have don't don't talk to them. Don't talk. How does the church handle conflicts and disagreements? How does that happen? When you go to request a meeting, are you denied? When you need answers, are you denied? When you're looking for help, are you denied? Are there any signs of excessive control over members' personal lives? Is there a genuine sense of community and love in the church that you attend? How are women and children and vulnerable groups treated? What about now? I know how some of the women are treated, the single ones, that is.
Mm-hmm.
Single ones are definitely attacked. And I think that a lot of people had a lot of reservations. Like they were afraid to say anything, afraid to speak up, afraid to speak out. Do I feel my spiritual growth is supported and nurtured? Do you feel that? These are just some questions that we want you to ponder. Just want you to ponder that. And we're going to leave you with that. And ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to Conversations with the Culture. We're going to talk to y'all on the next line. Peace out.